Hi, Megan.
Hi, Susan. I have our water here again today, and I thought that as we begin our third episode, all about digestion,
Okay.
I'm going to put a drop of ginger in my water
Oh, you're brave.
and see how that goes.
I don't love the smell or taste of ginger in the oil. I have ginger tea every morning. I
Yeah.
chop up ginger, boil it, strain it, have the ginger juice, and I often will put a drop of Thieves Blend oil in. I guess I could put Digize in. We're talking about digestion. But honestly, I don't love the taste, so I only ingest this if I absolutely have to. And yeah, I'm allergic to garlic.
That's
So
right, you are.
when I eat garlic, I get quite sick. My digestion actually just shuts down. And so it takes 3 or 4 days before I feel better. And I found digestive enzymes really help. But this blend, Digize, is like a miracle for me.
Wow.
I can put a drop under my tongue
Yeah.
and I'm better, like within a few hours, which is
Wow.
unbelievable. Even
Yeah.
with digestive enzymes, I'm not better in a few hours.
Right.
The other thing I can do is put a drop in my hand and put some carrier oil with it and rub it on my tummy, and that will help. My mom uses it for indigestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly, for me, this feels like a bottle of magic. And
Awesome.
my partner keeps it by the bed because he often has digestive issues, and he says it changes everything. It's his
Wow.
favorite oil.
Yeah.
This oil is, I can't remember exactly what he says now, but it's like, it's a miracle.
That and the Thieves Cleaner.
The Thieves Cleaner. That's right. That's right.
And that comes in your starter kit.
Oh,
That's
the
one of the
Digize.
12
Yeah.
or 11 oils that you get.
Yes.
Yeah.
A blend
blend,
of oils.
yeah.
And ginger doesn't come in the starter kit, but you can
does
get
not.
ginger.
Yes, you can.
Yes. So tell us
And
about ginger.
we're going to talk about both of these. Well, I'm going to just see how this tastes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, it tastes fine. Do you want to try it?
Yes.
Just try a little bit of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to breathe it in while I'm tasting it at the same time, so then all my olfactory and taste expands.
Actually makes it taste good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so
I
interesting.
think we're onto something here.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Oops, sorry, Frankie.
Well, before I dive into all of the wonderful things about ginger and Digize, we promised everyone that this episode was going to be about digestion and gut health and your whole inside of your body, from your mouth all the way down to the other end. Whatever we're allowed to call that. So I want
The other end.
the other end. Okay. Thank you for joining us today on the Essentials Roundtable with myself, Megan Edge, and my fabulous, wonderful co-host, Susan Seale. We are so excited to be doing this series. I get up in the morning when we're doing these, and I just like, yay, I can't wait to talk about what we're going to talk about. And all these ideas going through my mind of, okay, we're going to talk about the tree oils at one point. We're going to talk about the herbal oils and the citrus oils, and never mind all the other amazing products that Young Living has. And yes, this is a show about the products and oils that Young Living has, because these are the ones we use and love.
These are the ones we use. But
Yeah.
there are other companies. We just don't use them because they don't work as well.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
That's really the bottom line. For me, it's about sharing with people the things that have worked for me.
Yes.
Yeah. And you remember I said I wanted to share the story about Emily
Yes.
and the sinus infection that she had
Right.
when we were talking last show about how these oils can support our immune system and help us be in balance in our body. And we were talking about that when things show up for you that really are acute, absolutely 100% go to the doctor. Don't mess around. Go to the
Why
doctor.
would you mess around?
Go to emergency, go wherever you need to go to get the help that you need in that moment. And then equally, switch up your diet, eat better, drink more water, do all the things that are, intuitionally we know are good for us. And part of that regime and protocol could be introducing some of these beautiful essential oils into your whole system for overall well-being, long-term well-being. So Emily's got this nasty sinus infection. The color of the goo coming out of her sinuses. I won't even go there. I won't even take you there. But to the point where there was blood now.
Oh.
I said, that's it. We're going to the doctor. I phone our doctor. I said, I need to get Emily in today. Oh, she can't be seen until Tuesday. And this is Monday. Next Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
I said, no, she's really, really sick right now. Well, go to the clinic with her then. So I got off the phone and I thought, okay, But if I take her out of bed, get her all bundled up, take her to the clinic, we sit in the clinic for a few hours, she's just going to feel worse. Never mind what else she might pick up in the clinic or what she might share with other people in the clinic.
She's not an infant.
No, she's 17 years old.
Yeah,
This is, So I said to her, well, in the meantime, I'm going to put together some oils and let's just work with the oils, right? So I created a recipe and put it together, and I put it in a coconut oil and beeswax so it was solid. Rubbed it on her feet, rubbed it on her chest. Within 2 days, she was fine.
Wow.
A sinus infection.
Which oils did you use?
Well, let me see. I have it in here. Am I allowed to share what they are?
Yes.
It was quite spectacular, and it was more than I was expecting. This is my little blue book of oils, and all the recipes that I do, I put them in here. But in the meantime, while I'm finding where I wrote it, you could tell us more about Digize.
Okay, Digize.
And why we're talking about it
This
today.
is an amazing oil, and it was created for digestion. So it has, it's a synergistic blend of oils. So there's tarragon, which is great for intestinal disorders and, in my research, deep depression. So I think what happens is our gut impacts our brain function. And so if you are suffering from depression, taking care of your gut health can help with some of those symptoms and at least energetically start shifting you. So tarragon is in here. Ginger, which is another aid for digestion. Helps with depression, anxiety, exhaustion, nausea, morning sickness, which we were just talking about your ginger that we've dropped on the floor. So there's ginger in here. And peppermint, which has been shown in modern studies to reduce symptoms of IBS.
There it is.
And juniper, which is known as a bloat buster. It stimulates digestive enzymes, so it would help you to digest more effectively. Fennel is in here, so that's oil number 5.
Wow.
Reduces acid reflux in studies. It increases the motility of the small intestine, so it's a free radical scavenger and has been shown to ease colic. Fennel can ease colic in infants because it's affecting digestion, right? And we know colic is connected to digestion.
Yes, yeah.
And lemongrass is in here.
Oh my gosh.
Which is good for digestion. It's good for inflammation. It treats fevers. And in a study done in 2008, there were 91 oils that were studied for if any of them could inhibit the MRSA, the superbug. And it was lemongrass that outperformed all the others.
Wow.
So that's in here. Patchouli is in here, which is an amazing oil for nausea, IBS, for skin conditions, for mood.
Smelling like a hippie.
Smelling like a hippie, exactly. Just put my Digize on that.
That's right.
I think it's one of the lower ones, so it's the least amount in here. I think you have more tarragon, ginger, and peppermint than you would patchouli.
But still.
And anise, which is another digestive stimulant and good for opening emotional blockages. So, you know, it's a powerhouse little blend.
Yeah.
And so, of course, it's working for me and my garlic allergy.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, and it was the oil out of this in the starter kit. It was the one I didn't use ever. I didn't like the smell of it.
Me too.
And so you wouldn't put it in the diffuser. But you can put this in the diffuser.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would help. And some people love it. This is their favorite oil.
Yeah.
Not mine. But it's very useful. It's my tool. It's a tool for me.
Yeah, it is a tool. Well, and now that I know what's in it, because I have a relationship with those individual oils because of all the work that I do with my own individual oils.
Right.
As you're talking about what's in there, I'm feeling drawn to it.
Oh, it really?
Yeah. I feel like, now I know more about it. I understand its potency. Why wouldn't I try it?
Yeah, why wouldn't you try it?
And just try it. Right. Because that's the beautiful thing about these oils. I don't know of anyone who's ever had a life-threatening experience after using a pure essential oil. There's no counter.
Usually they just feel better.
They just feel better. So even if you don't believe in it, and some people don't, I don't believe in essential oils. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in essential oils. I'm like, well, what's not to believe? It's right here in front of you. But anyway,
well, I guess I don't believe in the hype.
Yes, I don't believe in the hype.
I think when someone says that, a lot of people get really hyped up about things, and it's exciting and all of that. But I guess that must be what they're not believing in, because they do work for things.
Absolutely,
I mean,
they do.
We put them in our shampoo, we put them in our makeup, we have them in our lotions and our skincare. When you go to the massage therapist, she puts a drop of, to relax you. And there's.
Well, we've grown up with essential oils and just not realized that that's what what is in our food and in our products. But in fact, the food industry and the beauty industry have been using essential oils forever.
There have been, what was the number? Something like 20,000 studies done just in North America or more, just in North America, on the effective use of essential oils and how they impact our mood, our digestion, whatever, skin conditions.
Yeah, and so smart beauty product researchers, smart food industry experts have known about essential oils forever.
Well,
because they put them in our foods.
In industry, they use them.
But
in order to keep costs down, they usually use oils that are not high quality, or they've been fractionated,
or synthetic,
cut with something, or some kind of synthetic. In fact, pharmaceutical companies do invest to create they look at the cellular structure, they try to copy it and create a synthetic so they can own it. Yeah. Because they can't own a plant. So
yeah, not yet anyways. Have you heard of the Noxious Weed Act in Canada?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Tell me.
Look up the Noxious Weed Act. The number of common garden weeds like dandelion, nightshade, digitalis, so many of them are on the Noxious Weed Act. Oh. These are weeds, these are plants that have been deemed toxic to the point of being a danger to people in the general public. And while it's not often reinforced or forced at all, the very fact that it exists and that most of our garden herbs and plants are on that list.
What?
Yes. Is cause for concern.
Oh my God.
I think it's really cause for concern. So I used to do horticulture. That was one of my previous, in this lifetime, lives. I was a professional horticulturalist. And one of the things that I loved about working with plants was learning about plant medicine. I've always been a herbalist. It's in my blood, right? And one of the things we learned about as professional gardeners was this whole thing about the Noxious Weed Act. So a neighbor could, please don't do this to your neighbor, but I'm just saying, a neighbor could see that dandelions are growing in their neighbor's yard, report them to the agent who is responsible for the noxious weed enforcement.
Maybe we'll just cut this piece out.
If you don't like your neighbor, if you don't like their dandelions, oh my God, dandelions are so good for you. You should just go over to your neighbor's garden and pick all their dandelions and make your salads and your teas and all that. Every part of the dandelion is edible and medicinal.
Cool.
For that matter. Yeah. Anyhow, that was a small rabbit hole.
But we like rabbit holes.
But the point is that a lot of these oils that we're using and we're talking about and we're going to be sharing over the many months that we do this program are listed on the Noxious Weed Act in Canada.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit of information there for you. I don't know if ginger is or not, but let's talk about ginger now.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Let me find it. Here you go.
Thank you. I found my recipe for the chest balm for cold and flu. It's quite complex.
Okay.
So I created a mint blend that has spearmint, wintergreen, peppermint, and blue spruce in it. Then I separately created a herbal blend, sage, oregano, marjoram, thyme, and rosemary. Then I added thieves, and I put it in a base of coconut oil, beeswax, and St. John's wort infused olive oil.
Nice.
And melted it all and then let it solidify and then use that on her feet and chest.
And did you keep some?
Speaking of digestion.
That was funny. That was loud. Did you hear that? Her stomach was
My stomach just growled.
That's great. Well, it is lunchtime.
It is lunchtime. What was the question that you just asked?
Did you keep some of the cold remedy that you made?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to try some? I'll give you some before you go.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have a cold, but...
Well, somebody near you might.
Yeah, well, everybody seems to have them except me.
Yes. I don't get them either now. This fall I have not been sick.
Yeah, well, since I just find...
Yeah.
I'm well.
Yeah.
I'm well.
I'm well. I'm well. Are you well? Let's talk about the wellness of ginger.
Okay.
Okay. But wait, now I'm not on my ginger page anymore. Go to my ginger page. Everybody knows ginger, right? Everybody either loves or doesn't love ginger. It's like that kind of a relationship. But certainly it's a very common root. We find it in the grocery stores everywhere. It's used in a lot of Asian cooking, a lot of Indian cooking. I love it. I was excited to discover the fun fact that I discovered about ginger is that women in Senegal weave belts out of ginger root for their men in order to increase their men's virility.
Wow. Okay.
Shall we add that to the sex show we're going to do?
That's fun.
It is a male vitality enhancer.
Yes.
It has been demonstrated
I've heard of that.
to do that. So, men, drink your ginger tea. Women, give ginger tea to your men. Who couldn't use that boost anyways, no matter what, right?
Well, why wouldn't you want to be your best?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you want to be highly functioning? It's a root that is related to turmeric and has been used, as far as we can determine, as far back as 5,000 years BCE, before the Common Era. So it's been in our culture for a very long time. And with the whole spice trade route, it became something that was available to people who lived in countries where it wouldn't grow naturally. Right. And the Romans loved ginger. The Romans and the Greeks apparently loved ginger. They used it in all kinds of things. And of course, wherever the Romans went, they took with them the things that made them comfortable, that they enjoyed. So they spread the use of ginger and many other herbs and spices all over wherever they went. Europe, Africa, Northern Europe. It was an empire. London, or no, well, it wasn't London then, it was Londinium. All of those cities, these herbs that were introduced, these spices were introduced. But again, like many of them, you didn't have access to these medicines, these foods, unless you had the money.
Person.
Yeah, the average person didn't, and certainly the poor, so the poor didn't. It was the food of royalty. It was the medicine of royalty. And now it's a common root that most people...
We just buy it in the grocery store.
Yeah, powdered or oils or eating it, just chewing on it is really good. Candied, all kinds of different things. The fragrant is considered to be gentle, but also stimulating, helps with physical energy and courage. And interestingly, before...
It's known as the oil of empowerment.
Right, and before I knew any of this, when I was first making some of my blends for my nature essences and crystal chakra sprays, the one for boundaries has ginger in it for strength and courage.
Well, ginger's yellow. Yellow is the color of the third chakra. Third chakra helps you set the boundaries.
And boosting your immune system, because what happens when our boundaries are being stomped upon or broken, or we don't know how to hold them properly, it affects our immune system. When we're being bullied, our immune system gets depressed. Yeah. So the blend that's in my boundary spray is orange for uplifting, black pepper for strength and courage, and ginger equally for strength and courage, and both of those, pepper and ginger, for boosting our immune system.
Wow.
Just helping us to feel better in our bodies so that we have the strength to face that bully or whatever it is that's happening in our life, where our boundaries feel like they're not being listened to. So then when I learned that this is the oil for courage, well, of course. And I made that blend, 8 years ago now.
Wow.
It's one of the first ones that I made. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love learning about the oils, because every time I do, I learn more about them.
Yes. Every time you learn about them, you
learn more about them.
Same. As I was preparing for this,
yeah,
I was reminded and learned new things.
So it's also known it's a warming herb that can boost circulation and blood flow, particularly to the sex organs. Okay, so we're definitely going to have this one on our sex and oils show that we do. Why is it that our digestive health is so important?
Why?
Yeah.
It's our second brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you think about what the digestive tract looks like, all windy and it's very much
it does look like the brain. I never thought of that
and
before.
anything you do to impact the health of your gut will impact the health of your brain and how clear you're thinking and your moods, the chemical, the way your brain works.
That's right.
A lot of psychiatrists are now using that knowledge to treat people who have psychiatric disorders by treating their gut.
Wow.
So it's not just about the brain.
That's right.
It's very powerful. I had a really powerful experience once with probiotics. And in my 20s, I was sick a lot. Eventually, I went to see a woman who said I needed probiotic, and they muscle tested me, and I needed, of this one particular one, like 60 every day.
Wow.
So the first day I went home, and I took 60. I went to sleep, and I woke up the next day, and I felt so good.
Wow.
I had never felt that good in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Super clear-headed, everything, the colors were beautiful, I was calm, And it was just like an amazing experience. And and I did that every day, and then muscle tested for how many do I need now, and it went down, down, down. So over 3 or 4 months, I kind of shifted the way my body was functioning using probiotics, which is your gut health. So my gut, I found out later, which I didn't know at the time, I had been impacted by taking tetracycline.
Oh.
In our family, there's this condition of acne where our skin is quite impacted. And so my mom was worried I was going to have scars as a teenager. So from the time I was about 12 till I was into my early 20s, I took 4 tetracycline every single day.
Wow.
Yeah, so no wonder I was sick.
Oh my gosh.
All the time.
No wonder.
So,
wow.
Can you imagine?
I'm trying to imagine.
I know.
I just feel your little body going,
I know.
Stop.
So doing that helped my body just to function better. So gut health is pretty important. It impacts your immunity, impacts your mood, impacts everything.
Everything.
When you have a digestive issue, you're not as fun to be around because you're usually cranky. You might not even be able to be social.
Yeah.
Right? You might
right.
be staying home.
That's right.
Or staying in the bathroom. It's your gut health is so important. It's like if you can take care of your gut health, who cares about everything else almost? If you have a skin problem, it can actually be treated through the gut.
Yeah.
So through probiotics and through eating differently
And I think in our culture we're a bit squeamish around talking about poo.
Oh, well, yes.
And the waste from our bodies, which all that it is waste from our bodies.
And thank goodness we have waste.
Thank goodness. Because everything we put in our bodies takes everything it needs from what we eat and drink and ingest.
Unless your gut isn't working well, it will let nutrient that you need pass through because it's not functioning properly.
That's right.
And that's where things like this can really help, right?
Yeah.
So when I eat garlic, my digestion stops. It just shuts down.
Yeah.
And I'm sick. Like, people don't want to come into my house because it's going to smell like garlic. Like, for 4 or 5 days. Just my body emits the garlic because it's stuck in there.
Yeah.
It's not leaving. But with this, when I take, I'm pointing and you can't see. The Digize will help me now.
Yeah.
And probiotics are another great thing. Yeah.
Well, I think because people are unwilling or feel uncomfortable talking about what their body eliminates, we don't get a lot of information that could be really helpful in terms of the consistency. I'm going to get a little bit graphic here.
Yeah.
The consistency of our, can we just call it poop?
Yes. Well, you can Google. There are graphics made now for different sizes and shapes, and
you can test. You can
see what's going on in your body based on what is coming out of your body.
Yeah. It's true. And I remember when I went to see a naturopath one time, and she said to me, well, how many times do you have a bowel movement in a day? And I went, in a day? Every 3 or 4 days. Oh. She says, I beg your pardon? You should be having a bowel movement after every meal. If your body is in alignment and sync, there are processes that occur in the body, chemicals that are released, hormones that are released, so everything works in unison. So as soon as you even start thinking about food, your mouth starts to salivate. It starts to produce chemicals that help you start to digest from your mouth. You go down into the stomach, there's all kinds of processes that are going on in your stomach in order to start the preliminary process of pulling things out of the food that's good for your body. And it goes all the way through. She said, if you're so badly constipated that you're not having a bowel movement except every 4 days, we need to do some work. Oh. For me, it was just normal.
Yes, you didn't know.
I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that there was a problem because I was in pain all the time. Of course I was. Everything was backed up. And all the things that my body was trying to not absorb were getting into my system because the waste was sitting there, just sitting there. Never mind how uncomfortable it was. So with that knowledge, I started to learn about, okay, what am I eating? What am I putting in my body? What are the reactions that I'm having when I eat these certain things?
You started to pay attention.
I started to pay attention. And then I also looked at the emotional component of it. And we look at
emotions can shut down your
Absolutely
digestion,
they can.
or speed it up.
Yeah. Yeah, shock will shut you down.
You know when someone says they scared the crap out of me?
There's a reason we have that saying.
Yes, it's a rude one, but I know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. So now that I have these oils that I can be working with, I feel like, especially now that I know more about the Digize from you, I'm excited to see what else I can do with my body.
Well, knowing you, I'm thinking you're going to make it into muffins or something.
I'm gonna make a poo spray.
Okay.
Well, you know how, especially in the States, there's a real culture around farting.
Is there?
And feces. There is. Every program, show, there's got to be a fart joke in there somewhere. I'm not wrong about this. It's everywhere.
Okay.
If all of our
I need to watch
digestive...
more TV.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But if all of our digestive systems were actually in line and healthy, there'd be no fart jokes. Because we're not supposed to have stinky farts. Stinky farts means there's something wrong in your digestive tract. It means you're not well. Mm-hmm. And even gas itself means you're not well. And gas is basically, it's the bacteria farts. As the bacteria is digesting the things that are in your gut, they produce gas. They're farting. And then it builds up, and then your body has to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. So what if all of our farts smelled like roses? Or Digize?
Oh dear.
Or we just didn't, your body didn't need them anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? It's a sign that something is wrong.
Right.
Now, many people love the fart joke, so I'm not saying you have to give them up entirely, and I will still be giggling in my 90s at farts because I think they're really quite funny that our body makes that noise.
It is fun.
But what if it wasn't a room clearer? Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice.
Just saying. We did not know we were going to be talking about farts when we started this.
Why not?
Why not? Well, listen, if we're going to be really letting people know and educating people about how well these oils work for them, we might as well talk about all of it.
Okay.
Okay, it'll be fun when we get to our sex show. What do you think, around Valentine's Day, should we do it then? Maybe?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, okay.
That's a great idea.
Okay, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned as well
Coming
for
soon.
for our next show. We're going to be focusing on oils that can help support our immune system.
Yes.
From the basic to maybe some more obscure ones too, even.
Awesome.
Some that people might not be that familiar with.
I'm in.
All right. Excellent. I hope you'll be in with us next week when we come back with the Essentials Roundtable Immune Boosting Special. Oh, there goes my stomach again. I'm really hungry.
Lunch.
After lunch. Thank you, everyone, for being with us today.
Thanks. Bye for now.
Thanks, Susan.
Thanks, Megan.